Hey guys, it's ChinoBee. Gonna be teaching you about motorcycles today, just the basic parts. Um, so this is my bike. I got a Suzuki Katana 600 F. It's a pretty basic bike. It's pretty heavy. Started out on this, and yeah. Anyway, moving on. So first off is the shifter. Down for downshift, up for upshift. It's pretty simple. This is the peg, high beam, low beam, turn signals, middle is cancel, horn down here, got the clutch, choke, key, ignition. This is the brake fluid container. I'm not sure what it's actually called. Kill switch, off, on. If it's got crosses through it, it's off. If it's just a circle, it's on. Ignition, on switch. You just hold down the clutch, make sure it's in neutral, and then hold that down. This is my throttle. I have this cramp buster thing. It's great for highway. Got your mirrors, turn signal, indicators, speedo, tack. I have a fuel gauge. My neutral light. It's in neutral right now. Oil temperature sensor thing. Front brake. Let's walk over here. It's my rear brake. Exhaust, passenger pegs. Yeah. Anyway, my tank's 4.9 gallons, almost 5 because it's California spec. I have this really ghetto luggage rack I made for under $10. It's just a whole bunch of straps and a little shelf thing. Anyway, start your bike, hold the clutch in, and make sure it's in the on position, and hit the on switch and hold it. And my bike is weird, like the clutch is in a weird spot, so you have to make sure that it's in that weird spot and it'll start. My bike's already warm, but usually you hold down the choke and it's just weird. You hold it down like that and start it. But my bike's already warm, so I'm just gonna start it like this. Gotta find that weird point. There it is. Okay, so most bikes idle at 1.5, 1500 RPM, and mine idles just under. Mine is at about 1350. So I leave it at a lower RPM so that I have more room to accelerate and that I save a little bit more gas. So this is your odometer. You can set your trip. Like I left the trip 2 unresetted. That's how many miles I put on it since I got it. So I got about 870 miles on this bike. I've done 117 since my last fill up. Actually, that's not even right. I filled it up last night. So you just hold it to reset it. And what was I saying? Oh, well, when I got the bike, it was at 26,1100 miles, or 111, I don't know. Anyway, uh, every time you set your bike straight up, you want to put your kickstand up, like I just did. Make sure it's all the way tucked, because there's a switch that if you leave it down and try to go put it in first gear, it'll just shut off. Or if you try to go forwards while it's down, it'll just shut off. So I don't know if all bikes are like that, but I know mine's like that. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, yeah, there we go. So when you start off, you want to make sure you're in first gear, and you want to just kind of, well, I let the brake go, but you want to just ease off the clutch until you feel the bike start to move. And you kind of want to walk with it. And then if you have a lot of space, you can just keep going, but if you don't, then just kind of scoot back and just keep going at it. But you want to, when you start riding, you want to find your clutch catch point and make sure you get it, so that you can just keep going instead of falling over. Because if you just let it go and you don't have the brakes, here, I'll just do it for you real quick. The bike will jolt forwards and it will shut off the engine because the RPM isn't matching with the engine speed. Or wait, no. Well, it's just like if you stick a metal rod in the fan, into like a fan, it'll just stop the fan. Or like, for you CPU guys, if you got a CPU fan and you just stick your finger on it and it stops spinning. You know what I mean? Yeah, okay. Hope you do. Okay. So, next thing is, I don't know. I guess the next thing is braking. When you want to brake, you use the front brake and the rear brake at the same time, or at least try to, because that way you'll stop in the shortest amount of time, and you'll also put wear on your brakes evenly. You don't want like too much wear on front or rear. You want front and rear. And you want to do it as smooth as possible. Just barely. If it helps you, just use 2 fingers. Don't use all of your fingers, because you'll slam on your brakes and you'll get tank slap. So, oh shit, second gear. And if you want to, well, no, I mean, you shouldn't start in second gear, but if you're comfortable starting in second gear, I guess you could. But if you shift all the way down to first gear, and then you shift up like a half shift, and let's see if I can get it. Now my bike's kind of old and crappy, but if you shift up a half shift, you'll get into neutral. When in doubt of what gear you're in, just shift all the way down. Shift all the way down, and then shift up a half shift, and you'll be in neutral. When you want to accelerate from a stop in traffic, you want to just give your throttle a little blip so that you have a little bit of working room to accelerate and get your clutch. Well, here, I'll just show you. Okay, so I'm at a stop. Okay, pretend I'm in traffic. There's cars behind me to the side and stuff. Okay, so what you want to do is just give it little working room so that you don't stall out. That's what I do. You can do it a different way. It's just I rarely ever stall out if I do it like that. If I'm just you can kind of do a little throttle and clutch action to go, but I feel it's just a lot quicker to do that. When you're first starting out, you wanna just do a little bit of clutch. You don't want to put any throttle input yet. When you're a little more comfortable with your clutch, then you can give it a little gas. Yeah, when you're comfortable with giving it gas, you can blip it if you want, but you don't have to. It's just my riding style. It's how I learned. You can experiment with your own launch techniques. Well, not launch techniques, but acceleration techniques. Just figure it out. Just get on a bike and try it. But anyway, that's pretty basic stuff. Let's see, when you're going below a certain speed, you want to have your clutch in, because if you don't, it kind of ends up being really, really wonky. The engine will start to die down. It'll be pretty hard to ride, but well, at the same time, it's easier to ride, but that's just for me. You want to be going like a little bit faster than 0, but it's actually harder to ride when you're going slow, because the input is kind of weird. It's like riding a bike, really, a bicycle, if you're going under 10. But as soon as you hit 10, the steering changes. Like you'll start to counter steer, and I'll go over that in a different video, I guess. Oh yeah, and getting into too high a gear and then going slow, you'll start to feel the bike kind of shake. It's just the gearing. Anyway, yeah, that's the end of this clip, I think. What else should I go over? I mean, oh, when you warm up your bike, please, if you have one, check out the owner's manual. I still have mine for this bike, and it says not to hold the choke in for more than 30 seconds unless like it's really cold or something. But you shouldn't hold the choke down for very long unless it's very, very cold weather. Yeah. Anyway, I'll just stop there for move on to the next thing.